Welcome to episode 1 of the Humanimal Channel series 3-Minute Theories. Now, this one involves the case of Jonbenet Ramsey, and we know there are a lot of testimonies around coming from the Stines. We've got Mrs. Stines saying, and that was the last time I saw them as an intact family. We've got Glenn Stine being vague about where he was and what was said and done during the visit of the Ramseys to the Stine home on the night of Christmas Day 1996, after the Ramseys had been to the Whites' Christmas party. And we've got varying testimony about how long they were there. Could have been 15 minutes, could have been an hour. And we've got varying testimony about Jonbenet Ramsey being carried out of the car into the home, about her walking ahead in the home. So, these are barriers, but they're very slight because we all know there's so many lies and fake statements flying around that, these can actually be very easily explained. Now, we know that the Stines were offered a job, I think in 1998, at John's Atlanta firm. But I believe that job, once they moved out of Boulder and went to Atlanta following their little friends, weren't they shafted? I think that job never eventuated. It was... either the business was collapsed or the job just wasn't available. Classic Ramsey move, I reckon. No one should underestimate John Ramsey. Let's just say that. So there could have been, though, plenty of reasons for the Stines to say anything. Look, the waving goodbye at the door, maybe when they say that's the last time we saw them as an intact family, they just assumed that Jonbenet Ramsey was asleep in the back seat, right? And, do you assume that the Ramseys are just standing at the door talking to the Stines? What have we been told? We've been told that when they finally made this pit stop, and they were to go to the Fernies later and decided that they wouldn't, when they made the stop at the Stines, are you assuming that when Patsy and Burke go in to talk to them, drop off the present, and Burke probably wanted to see Doug, and I'm not sure if there was this billeted child there at the same time as well, but just off the top of my head. But do you imagine them all standing on the doorstop while John idles the car just meters away? Or do you reckon they might go inside? So what if, and here's the 3-minute theory, what if after they leave the Whites and they make one stop and then they go to another, and we know that Patsy and Burke just go into the Stines, what if instead of just waiting in the car, maybe it's out of sight. Did the Stines have a long driveway? I don't know. Where did they pull up? Did they pull up right up to the house? Don't know. What if John Ramsey drove Jonbenet to the home, back to 15th Street? And then what if he returned to pick up Patsy and Burke? How much time would he have? 15 minutes? Well, probably a couple of minutes drive, if that. They were stopping at friends all the way along the way. Well, even with 15 minutes, that would probably only give them 10. But the time frame's dodgy. The time frame's dodgy about everything, because the Ramseys have photographic memories of some things and then suddenly can't remember others, like when they left the Whites and how long they were at people's homes. And indeed, the Stines are pretty vague on when they arrived and when they left, you know. So what if it was an hour? What if Patsy was kind of waiting for John to return? Or did she know? You know, when Burke says in an interview to Dr. Phil, he was asked, see, he did say in some statements, oh, the last time I saw her was walking up the stairs. But to Dr. Phil, he says, in the car. Well then, and that's not, Dr. Phil doesn't say, oh, what do you mean, in the car? Because you got out of the car and then Daddy carried Jonbenet up the stairs after you. You didn't see her after that. What if it was in the car outside the Stines? You know, why didn't he say inside the house? Why didn't he say when Dad was reading to us? You know, there's accounts, oh, Dad read, you know, John says he read to both Jonbenet and Burke. He says this to the cops that come to the house straight away, that Boxing Day morning. But then he says, no, I played a toy or played a game with Burke. I completed the game with him. You know, I knew 15 minutes here was better than just